Hello, and welcome to the Finny Games. It's your host, BBG, aka BrokeBlackGamer. What's good, my BGs? Today I want to talk about why the Xbox has always sucked. When the original Xbox came out, it was a good console. It was solid. It had great software, had good online play, it had the best graphics, it was the newest console, it was pretty impressive for a console. It had good exclusives like Halo and Halo and Halo, but other than that, it wasn't really that memorable for anything else. The PS2 destroyed it, the GameCube destroyed it, and they were just the better options to have for the exclusives that they had at the time. Fast forward to the Xbox 360, Red Ring of Death, way more prominent than the Yellow Light of Death. The console was good and well received just because PlayStation did a lot of things wrong, and the Wii wasn't it for the hardcore community. But just because PlayStation did everything wrong doesn't mean that the Xbox 360 was actually good. Red Ring of Death way at a way higher rate, broken hardware, selling $100 for a Wi-Fi adapter because you couldn't use, it wasn't built in with one, so you had to pay extra for one, when Bluetooth and Wi-Fi were a pretty basic thing by the time that console came out. Even the Wii had it, the PlayStation 3 had it, not the Xbox 360 until the Elite console came out much later. Then of course they were the first console to make us pay to play online. You had to pay to play your own game online. Crazy concept. They even tried to get PC gamers to get into it on Windows Live, where you could pay for a similar online experience. But of course, because PC gamers have more common sense, we noped the fuck out of that, and it never happened. So with all the backlash, they finally just gave up. But of course, that's not what happened with Xbox 360. Everyone was happy to play online. Everyone was happy to show for Xbox, and the console wars just continued to go on. The Xbox 360 did have some good exclusives, but after the PS3 architecture was figured out and just compared to the Wii U, it did not have much exclusives at all, because all those games that were once Xbox 360 exclusives, they started to go to the PC. And all of the console fanboys of the Xbox were like, oh yeah, we have Windows exclusives, Windows exclusives. The PC gamers were like, no, they're not Windows exclusives, they're just not exclusive to you anymore. And that does not mean you're a better console, it just means that you're a cheaper and better option for those who just can't get a PC, or they just prefer console for whatever reason. And that was pretty much that. The Xbox 360 was not that great. It was an overrated piece of hardware. And even in the end, it ended up losing to Sony because overseas people just never really got with Xbox anyway. And again, bringing the Red Ring of Death, bringing online consoles to have to pay to play your own games was disgusting. I wouldn't call that good. I would say that was a huge 50 steps back. Not cool. Xbox. Actually pretty much just disgusting, which is what you can expect from Xbox. And that brings us to Xbox 360's ugly little sister, the Xbox One. The Xbox One was pretty much a piece of shit, where they said that everything would be grouped in one. It would be your TV, it would be your cable, it would be your Wii, it would be your PlayStation, it would be your PC, it would be your home entertainment theater device, where everything was wrapped into one. So a lot of you are probably scratching your heads thinking, why the fuck would I want that? I just want my Xbox. And that's just because Xbox doesn't really know its audience, and they never really have. Obviously. So then they decided to, after advertising how it was a one in all home entertainment theater, which no one gave a fuck about, then that's when they said that there was going to be a DRM policy, which pretty much restricted you from the ability to play used games. So Xbox would require you to have an online check every 24 hours. Ultimately, so they could just charge a fee or block you from playing a game that you didn't have the digital rights to, even if you had the physical copy. And back then, a lot of us, we went to GameStop to buy our games, or we traded with our friends. It was a really big deal. You know, when you own a disc, you kind of think that you own it and you can play it when you want, or you could give it to whomever. Nah, they wanted everything to be controlled. So at this point, a lot of us who had consoles were liking them because we didn't have to go all digital, but now they were making it pointless to own a physical disc. It got so bad that Sony made a PR commercial mocking how you could give a game to your friend.
This is how you share your games on PS4. Thanks.
PlayStation.
On the PlayStation 4, in which he just handed the game to his friend. Very embarrassing for the Xbox One. The Xbox One finally undid all of their horrible policies, but by then the damage was done. No one wanted Xbox. Everyone had a bad taste left in their mouth, except for the hardcore Xbox enthusiasts. And then anyway, that brings us to the next Xbox, the even uglier little sister, the Xbox One and the Xbox One S and the Xbox One X. I'm sorry, I don't even know what they're called. I seriously hate Xbox, but if you couldn't tell. So the Xbox One S and Xbox One X, they are useless. They offer no exclusives. They're cheap AMD PCs. The PlayStation 6, it's also useless, but at least it has it's useless too, but at least you can play the Sony exclusives on there if you don't have a PC. And with Xbox One X, it literally has no exclusives. There's nothing good about it. And they've increased the price to $800 for a 5-year-old 2TB console. Yuck, gross. Who the hell would want to buy that? And that enough is a reason why it's horrible and you shouldn't buy it. And I don't even have to say anything else about the Xbox One S or Xbox Series X. You're paying for 5-year-old hardware for a shitty, ugly console that can't do anything for $800. Yeah, right. That's awful. And yeah, that's just horrible. That sounds terrible no matter how you look at it or how you word it. It's just awful. It's disgusting. Microsoft should be ashamed of themselves for even trying to sell such a piece of crap for that kind of money. And there's rumors about the next Xbox coming out. We all know it will be garbage. What is it called? The Xbox Bertha. It's going to be crap. You're going to have to pay $8 million to play online. Xbox obviously doesn't care about people. That's why I don't know why anyone is surprised about the Xbox Game Pass going up 50%, $10. But I honestly think all of you are wrong, because there is a game on Xbox Game Pass called Peppa Pig Adventures. It's one of the best games that I have ever played in my life. I would give $5.59 just for the experience to play this exclusive game. Y'all say there's no exclusives to the Xbox One X and Xbox Series X. Well, try Peppa Pig Adventures and then talk to me. But in all seriousness, if you think, oh, the Xbox was always great, BBG, we just have to build our momentum. And you're missing out. It's the perfect combo with the PC. Or if you think, you know what, Xbox has always been pretty terrible, charging 50% more on Xbox Game Pass out of the blue, making us pay $100 for a Wi-Fi adapter on the Xbox 360, being the pioneers of forcing people to pay online for their own games, selling a piece of shit console that literally had the red ring of death on everyone's Xbox at least once, and the return policy was horrid. So if you have an IQ above room temperature, it's not hard to figure out where the Xbox is going. It is going absolutely nowhere. there are rumors of another console coming out, but to those of you who are waiting for it, can I just ask one question? Why? What does it have to offer? What is so good about the Xbox? You guys actually aren't even good fanboys. You guys are nearly as good as the Nvidia fanboys. The Nvidia fanboys are great. They know how to make anything sound awesome. But when you guys are bragging about your Xbox console, they're all turnoffs. They're all things that make people cringe. So I'm just seriously wondering, why do y'all want another Xbox console? What does it have to add? And I know there's different levels to this, but you better hope things level out or your console will no longer exist. It's just going to become a Sega. It's going to become a Sega, but worse, because none of the games are even good or worth remembering. They've been on PC so long, it's just like Halo might as well be a PC game. You know what I mean? I mean, that probably hurts, and I understand. But the Xbox days are over. Hopefully the PlayStation days will be over soon, and we can all come together on the Kumbaya PC Master Race. And with that being said, the Finny games are over for today. The Xbox is trash, was trash, still is trash, and always will be trash.
Little Big Planet.